everyone, I'm Tomshark, and I finally beat Dark Souls 3. It took me a full 45 hours to do so, but I finally did it. Even though 75% of this game eventually made me rage, I really overall did enjoy this game. It's really in-depth, there's a lot of customization options, and every victory is so gratifying. At this point, the Souls games are basically a drug to me. So there was only one thing I could do. I had to get another one. So it's either I played Dark Souls 1, which is just as hard as Dark Souls 3 and has everything a Souls game needs, or I played Demon Souls, which is slightly easier and still has everything a Souls game needs. I think you know which one I chose. Considering that this was basically the father of the Souls games, I was really happy to start from the beginning. After playing through the end. Oh well, let's do this. Unlike most Souls games after it, Demon Souls actually explains what the heck is going on. The story of this game works like this. So there was this being called the Old One who released a plague of soul-devouring demons onto the world, and these dudes called the Monumentals used their knowledge of the soul arts to return the Old One back to his slumber. Then, being a complete idiot, King Allant of Boletaria decides to submit himself to the will of the Old One, hoping to get the land rich. Yeah, that didn't go too well. Instead of getting the whole land of Boletaria rich, a thick, colorless fog covered the place and made people go insane. So now soulless people are gathering in the Nexus, which houses the Old One underneath it, to travel to different places around the world, defeating demons to retrieve their bodies and stop the Old One from basically turning the world into everybody from Outlast. I'm really happy that I can understand the story here, unlike Dark Souls 1, in which you wake up in a prison. Have fun! Now I bet you're wondering, where is my character in this tale? Well, you're an outsider who thinks he can save the world, so you go into Boletaria and hope for the best. You're then taken to the tutorial level, which is stupidly easy. Considering how low level every character is at the start of this game, it's kind of strange to see yourself wrecking everything. Well, there it is. I take back everything I said, take it all back! You're then taken to the Nexus, where your adventure truly begins. At this point, I want to switch to my actual character so I can show off some of the later areas and later game aspects. And here we are, the real Demon Souls Tomshark, in the flesh, or in the soul essence. Once you get to the Nexus, you're finally allowed to go wherever you want. But don't go to the Shrine of Storms. You will regret your life choices immediately.
Lord, help us!
Besides the Shrine of Storms, there are a lot of other places to go, like a prison filled with members of the royal family, a really long mineshaft, and a land of wretched and ill people called the Valley of Defilement. That place sucks. I mean, how would you feel if you got poisoned, and then you got the plague at the same time? The gameplay is very similar to that of the other Souls games. It's a third-person RPG in which you defeat enemies to collect souls, so you can buy items like healers and buffs, and so you can level up your character to take on even harder challenges like bosses and later game areas. And being that this is the father of the Souls games, this game is hard. Okay, it's actually a little bit less punishing than the other games in the series, but it still has made me rage a good couple of times. In fact, Demon Souls is actually very similar to the other Souls games. There's only a couple of things here that set it apart. First off, unlike most Souls games, except Dark Souls 3, there is an MP bar that controls your magic power. There's also a strange karma system, if you will. The system is called World Tendency, and it's dictated by your actions. I'm not going to go into the real specifics of it because I don't really get it, but Basically, depending on what you do, different things happen throughout the world. So if you kill a lot of NPCs and you are mean to people by leaving them mid-conversation, like I do constantly, then stuff regarding your bad behavior will happen. But if you're nice to people, then stuff regarding how kind you are will happen. I haven't seen anything like this in the other Souls games, except for maybe just your actions affecting side quests later on. But I just kinda do whatever. And considering that I didn't know about this game mechanic until I was halfway through the game, I just kind of ignore it. That was all of the good stuff. But there had to be some things that they improved on from the first game. And one of those things is that whenever you retrieve your souls, or whenever you defeat a boss, it displays text on the screen. However, instead of just being there and not disrupting the gameplay, the message spans across the whole screen, and all of the areas that aren't covered by the text and its banner are very darkly shaded. So it's great that you got your souls or beat a boss, but you won't be happy after you died from a darkened screen. And one more thing, your weapons don't show that they're getting degraded. So you'll be in the middle of a fight and your weapon will just break, and you'll be screwed. And your armor can do the same thing. The only way to check how degraded your gear is by actually going into the stats and details of your weapons. I mean, you could just fix this problem by frequently getting your gear repaired at the blacksmith, but if you forget to do that for a little while, you are done. I was fighting the Flame Lurker once and my short spear broke, so I basically had to forfeit the fight. But all of my gripes with this game aside, I really enjoy playing this game, and through all of the Souls games I've played, this one is by far my favorite. I like the story, I like the gameplay as always, and I'm just happy that this time around it's not that rage intensive. After playing through the father of the Souls games, I am very pleased. Every Souls game I've played, I've only played through once. But with this one, I feel like I'd want to play it again. I tried to play through Bloodborne again, but Vicar Amelia prevented that from happening. And if I was gonna play through Dark Souls 3 alone again, it would be very time consuming and very rage inducing. So I'll just make a new character in Demon Souls and go for a PvP build that I can't even use because the Demon Souls PvP community is basically dead. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next video. Also, don't go to the Shrine of Storms unless you are at least level 50. The skeletons, man, they will mess you up. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, then hit that like button to show just how much you actually liked the video. If you really liked it and you want to see more of my content in the future, then subscribe to get updates on when my videos come out. For those of you who are new here, thanks for sticking through the video. I release videos every Wednesday, so I hope I can brighten up the middle of the week for you. You can hit the annotations to the left to watch my previous videos, and you can hit the annotation to the right to watch my next video, considering it's out by the time you see this one. Yet again, thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you all later. See ya!